Hey, this is Arsenette from Rambling Rican. Thank you again to the IndieGogo backers as I was able to return to Japan for a second time. Yay! This was a trip from the end of May to the beginning of June 2016. This was for the tournament Sasuke 32. To start off, again, thank you to the IndieGogo backers. Without that, I would have not been able to afford to go over. And thank you again to Timothy Coombs, whom at this point you should know from Sasuke 27, I think? Yes. Most people remember him as the eBay winner. So yeah, this is the second time he does this and saves my bacon. As he paid for both trips. Oh, this trip was kind of crazy putting together. For most, again, by now, people know that Sasuke 32 was supposed to happen in June, so everything was set. We were just about to get, hotels and everything, and all of a sudden, yeah, you might want to hold off on that. And it was moved 3 weeks earlier, so we were scrambling to get everything organized, and then, oh yeah, so it was a little tight. And of course the fundraising process, yeah, that was its own thing. But thank you to all the people that managed to donate this time around, and I was able to get everything paid off, so yay, thank you so much. I mean, seriously, I don't care if I sound like a broken record, seriously, thank you. So either way, my trip started, let's see, Wednesday, May 25th at 9:40 a.m. I left out of the Philadelphia airport because it's closer to where I live in Jersey, and so from there I went to Chicago O'Hare. It took about 2 hours ish. I'm trying to remember because you're going between Eastern time zone and Central. From there, let's see, Chicago, ended up leaving at 12:55 p.m. to head to Narita, which was a 13-hour trip, and oh, it's a long trip. So anyway, let me tell you about that. Obviously we switched planes, and so the plane was different. It was actually the exact same flight that I took last year, but they changed the airplane itself. It was also an American plane, but they changed it now to something called a Dreamliner, so the seats were a bit tighter together. Yeah, I had more legroom, but yeah, it was its own weird thing. So yeah, I'm not too much of a fan. It was a rough trip anyway because the entire trip was filled with a second flight that should have gone the day before to Indonesia. So we were packed like sardines. I started taking pictures in the beginning because I was looking at the flight app, and so, there were a lot of seats that were still open. I was a little surprised, and I'm like, cool, because they changed everything in the Dreamliner, so you're now 3 seats up against the window as opposed to 2 and then 4 and then 2 like it normally is. And so now they have 3, 4, 3, so it's a lot tighter. So I jumped to the window and I'm doing good, and I'm taking pictures and see what it looks like, and then somebody came at the window. Now, granted, I booked it where I was at the ends because I wanted to get up a lot to walk around, and I'm so glad I did. So I sat in the middle seat. But yeah, it was interesting. So yeah, not too much of a fan of the Dreamliner. So food was it was okay. I didn't like the noodles too much, but it was its own thing. I mean, it fed us. I'm fine. So nothing really to complain about. In-flight entertainment this year, I ended up watching 3 movies to try to kill the time because 13 hours is a long flight. So I went to see something called Bakuman, and I had never seen it before. Apparently it's like a manga and a series and whatever. I've never seen it before. I thought the movie was hilarious. I loved it. It was very much comic booky, and it's hard to explain, but yeah, I enjoyed it a lot. So if you have an opportunity, go look for that. I think you really enjoy it. Obviously all the movies were subtitled. These were Japanese movies. Second one was Galaxy Turnpike, and that was weird. It was weird. I won't watch it again. I didn't like it. And then the third one was Orange, which I find hilarious because I saw the movie well before I knew it was a series, and the series as we speak is going on, at least when I'm doing this video. I haven't seen the anime yet. It's just kind of like, I saw the movie. I'll see it at some point. I liked it. It's all about, time travel and stuff like, well, actually it's technically not time travel, but anyway. Trust me, I'm sure you'll be able to find all kinds of information on Orange. I saw the movie was fine. You had a couple like overacting, and that's a kind of a normal thing for Japan to have overactors, especially if they have like pop idols. And I think there was a pop idol for, you know, the Bakuman movie. But anyway, you don't need a movie review, so either way. So yeah, that's what I watched then. So yeah, that was 13 hours. Rough flight. We got to, I'm really happy that I actually used my noodle, because last year I ended up taking a bus all the way into Tokyo, and that's a distance because you're technically landing in a different state. Because if you think prefectures as states, it's like landing in New Jersey and you still have to go to Philly. Because that's still a ride. So this year I decided, you know what? Let me get an airport hotel. And I am so freaking happy that I did it. Because when I arrived, to give you a really funny story, and I don't know if it's going to take too much time. So I arrived in the hotel with my husband, and we were exhausted. It was a filled flight, so everything just poured into that hotel from the airport. Free shuttle buses, yay, and they run really fast. So yeah, that was really cool. It was, what, 8 minutes from the airport to the hotel. Yeah, I like that a lot. Got to the hotel. Mental note, if you ever go to the Hotel Nikki, ask for a room that is not in the annex, because I think that room supposedly was for smokers, and then they put like this really weird, like, to try to cover up the smell. Yeah, you know, I didn't care when I arrived because I was so freaking tired from the flight. I sat down. My husband went to jump in the shower. He goes, "You sure you want to jump in the shower first?" And I said, No, I'm good. I sat down. I did the mistake of lying back. I woke up like 8 to 10 hours later. I don't even remember. It was like an eternity. I think it was like 8 hours. No, it was about 8 hours. And I just passed out. I still had my shoes on. I was just gone. But yes, best decision ever. If you are taking a transatlantic flight or just a trans anything flight where you're gonna be, 10, 12 hours, yeah, stay at the hotel near the airport if you can. Any hotel near the airport. And then if you have the opportunity, like if you arrive late, then take a train or something to the city, unless you've got some serious stamina. Yeah. Look, I passed out last time too, but it was a different experience, so either way. So yeah, that was my flight over. So I made a small video of the room inside, so enjoy. Morning, just making a quick video of the hotel room. In fact, I don't think I even opened this. Actually, a pretty big closet. This is the Hotel Nikko at Narita. Hey, Don. Those are our messed up beds because we totally passed out last night. We arrived on Thursday, and in fact, that's gonna be our breakfast. We were just staying here for the day because Friday we're gonna be moving over to Machida, which is the hotel that's near Sasuke, and it's pouring this morning. I believe it's the last of the rain, and then all of that is supposed to be gone, but as you can tell, it's been raining since last night, and I think it's supposed to finish by like noon. I certainly hope so. It is 8 o'clock in the morning. So, yeah. So actually, this is a pretty big room. It has an obscene amount of space, as you can tell from walking around. Not bad. I think with all the taxes, and there are a lot of them, it was like $100 a night. Let me see. Turn light. Our spiffy bathroom, which we used. Yay. The actually jazzed out toilet, and anybody that understands Spanish would find the ironic / unfortunate naming of that company. Actually a huge tub, so I'm really happy with that. Actually didn't get to soak in it, but it's really big, and hairdryer works. Yay. So yeah, that was pretty much it. This place is was basically just a stopping point out of the airport,
because yeah, I was not going to repeat the same as last year, traversing the landscape for absolutely no reason. So next video should be heading over to Machida, whenever that is, in a couple of hours. So say goodbye. He needs his coffee.
So following morning, we ended up taking a train, the Narita Express, which I highly recommend. It's just an express train that goes from the airport into downtown Tokyo. And even then, with an express train and not stopping just about anywhere, it was still like over an hour to get into the city. So that should give you an idea of how far this really is. I much prefer this method of transportation. In fact, if you are from out of the country and you show your passport, you'll be able to get a round trip return for a lot less than you would for a one-way. So I would definitely look into that information. You can only buy that if you're a foreigner on a travel visa, which is what we were on. But yeah, that was awesome. And you have a lot more space. In fact, there was more space on the train between the seats than there was in the airplane for 13 hours. Yeah, that was wow. And you pay not that much more than you would for taking a local. And God, you do not want to take a local in the middle of the work week during rush hour. So yeah, take the express from the airport. There was almost no one on the train. It was fantastic. And I was able to take all kinds of videos, and so you've probably seen them at this point if you've seen any of my previous vlogs. Just the Japanese countryside. It's great. It's really scenic too, almost like 3/4 of the way through until you start getting into the city, and then you start seeing a whole bunch of concrete. But either way, I hope you enjoy that at least. And yeah, if I were to do it again, I would do the exact same thing. I may change hotels, but yeah, staying near the airport and then taking a train over. So next video should be from the train over into the city, because that was his own thing. And then I went straight from there into Machida, which is the area near Midoriyama. That's its own video. I'll get that the next time around. So in the meantime, thank you for listening, and yay, I started doing these. All right, I'll subscribe to get more, and I'll see you soon.